So here's the beast on the center stand. This is my KTM 1290 Super Venture S. As it sits with fuel and fluids and so forth in it, weighs about 550 pounds. So it's not a light bike. I ran into a couple of associates that had big bikes, came with center stands, and they wouldn't use them. And they felt like you had to have a lot of experience to run the center stand, or they'd drop their bike. So they just avoided using it. And I thought, wow, okay. So that gave me the idea of this video. So the center stand is a pretty simple device. It's actually been around for as long as motorcycles here. Many of the manufacturers, the early ones such as Norton, Harley Davidson, and so forth, had only the center stand and not the side stand, which is kind of interesting. And that's just because of the stability behind it and the reasons for having that center stand to this day, the modern use of it. So I've seen center stands. Well, Goldwings, they have a center stand, and you're talking about an 800-pound bike. So obviously they're quite doable on bigger bikes, not just for small bikes. So to mount it, it's really simple. You just push down on that, rock the bike back. But let's talk about a few things what we're doing here. So this arm is your leverage for lifting the bike up, and that's why it's so long. I'll show you in just a second. Some of the smaller bikes, it'll just have a little tab here. The common one that comes to mind is the Trail 90. The bike weighs like maybe 200 pounds max. So it's, you don't need a lot of leverage to put it up there. Pretty much you just push down here and rock it up. So you always use your back leg. Always make sure your handlebars are straight. Grab the rear handle here, the left control hand. Put your foot on it, push down. And what you do is lift the bike off the side stand so it's up and down. And you feel for the center stand to be on both legs. So right now I'm on both legs. You can see it down there. Obviously it's not stable, but in this position, it's pretty hard to tip the bike over. I got to really work at it, dude. It's balanced right there in the air like that. So all I'm going to do to put it on the stand is I'm going to put all my weight on top of the lever, and there you go. Boom. Now, as the bike gets more and more loaded, you're probably going to have to do a little finesse to bring it up on the center stand. And what I mean by that is you use the rolling back inertia to help set it up on there. So what I do, same thing, get the bike here, and then at the same time I'm going to pull back and up a little bit to get that up there. So a fully loaded bike, you probably need that little extra oomph. This is where that center stand is priceless. You get the back wheel up off the ground with aftermarket or specialty tools, where they'll have the bike standing on the side stand, the front wheel, and then they put a post right up here and lifting the bike up. A little more precarious, but for those of you that don't have a center stand, that's the way to go. But the biggest thing you're going to do in roadside maintenance, the chain. Second thing is tire inspection, checking for wear, and obviously for anything that might be embedded in the tire, like a screw or a nail. Isn't it funny how most of our flats are on the rear wheel? I've only had flats back here on my rear wheel. What happens is the front tire tends to spin up the loose object and spin it in such a way where it just able to go right into the rear tire, and thus you get that puncture. Okay, taking the bike off the center stand. Two ways that I've seen it done. One is to lift the side stand up first, and the reason why they suggest that is if you roll off and then land your motorcycle on your foot, you're probably going to break your instep. I get that 100%. So they suggest put your stand up like that, and all you're doing is you're just tripping the center stand with your lead leg. Put it in front of it and then rock it off. There you go. Put your stand down. Boom. Now I tend not to do that. I tend to leave my side stand down when I do it. And the reason why is, especially with the bikes loaded, it's very easy for me to just let the bike kind of pull it a little bit and roll over onto the side stand, and there you go. And it's a little less precarious. I found that was very helpful on a ferry when the boat's moving. When you have all your gear on here, it's easier this way, just to kind of pull the bike towards you a little bit with the center stand down, and it just falls down onto it. And how you alleviate the concern about your foot, it looks like it's close, right? But remember, this is traveling forward and my foot's not. So the side stand's going away from my foot. Boom, there you go. And if anything, I'll take a step back because I'm allowing the bike to fall towards me. But that's all you hit to it. Very simple to do, works really well. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, and we'll see you on the next ride.